All right, I'm trying to fix a dog bed, and I don't have a great fix. I've got hopefully a good enough fix. Because either this works or we throw the dog bed away. The problem is that my dog likes to use his bed as a trampoline, and these metal bars, they were not made for doggy trampolines. They're made for the dog to gently walk onto it, lie down, and sleep on it. My dog likes to jump on it full force, and so you can see what has happened here is that it bent this piece, like it just bent up like this. I pulled it back out to try and fix it, and just the way it bent, it just ripped it right out. So of course, if I put this back in, it's just going to bend again. And so the dog, instead of lying on this, I'll show it to you in a second, but it is this piece of canvas, cloth, something, stretched across where the dog lies on it. It's kind of nice. It's supposed to be nice and soft, but he's ruined it now. Whenever, because of this, it bends right back. So I'm going to try to reinforce it with this. This is just a metal bar. I don't know where it came from. I found it somewhere in my stuff. I'm going to just push it in there. It's not the perfect size. It's a little bit small. That's okay. It doesn't really move around in there much because there are these springs for these buttons. So when you put it in here like this, the button doesn't push down. So my plan is to push it far enough to where the button pops in, and then just shake it until it hits this part. So in essence, it would kind of be in here, this number, and that will hopefully reinforce it to where the dog, when he gets on it, it doesn't just sink down to the ground, because this thing bends every time. Because it goes in there like this will be the top of it. So hopefully that'll stop it from wanting to bend. That's the plan. Because otherwise this bed is just worthless. And this is the second dog bed like this he has had. The first one, he just started chewing the, I don't know, is this nylon? Some kind of like synthetic material, but he just started chewing it all the way across to where he chewed it all the way around to where there's no center. So we're going to see if this works. It's better than what we got. Will it be sufficient? We're about to find out. So this is the dog bed. You can see it goes right across right there. And so it's one of these joints like right there. He bent it because the joint is the weakest point. So I'm going to see if I can reinforce it and then install this top piece back. I mean, it's not really a very difficult repair. It's just mainly putting that bar in there and seeing if I can get it all fit back together. So we're going to see if that will happen. So you can see it right in there. And it adds some strength. I think it'll be enough. I mean, it's certainly better than what we had before. So let's put this bed back together, and I'm not going to jump on it. I'm just going to test it. So check this out. I think you can probably see that screw got a little bit of a bow to it. And that's because my dog treats this thing as a trampoline. And admittedly, it's not the most expensive dog bed in the world. I don't pay top dollar for my dog's bed because he invariably tears them up, ruins them somehow. But this is what we're working with. And so the question is it worth it to fix this? Well, I mean, if what I've done works, the answer would be yes. And early indications seem that it will work. I haven't quite put it together. I still got this one last bolt. But I think this is going to work. Now, whether it's going to stand up to his repeated jumping on it like a trampoline, I don't know. But it's definitely stronger than it was before. And while I could do this and then turn it around where a different corner, because he kind of jumps towards one corner. And so I can turn it around where there's another corner, but all these pieces of metal are made the same. So this corner I fixed is probably the strongest, because at least now it has a little bit of reinforcement. Even though that bar is actually smaller than what it was before. Maybe it's thicker metal. You know, I don't know. This may not actually work. It may just buy us a couple weeks. But, hey, you know, you don't know until you try. It's worth a shot. So you can see the thing, it just kind of suspends you. Now that is the side I fixed. You can see it's got a bit of a bow, but that bow was in there as I was fixing it. Now I'm not going to try to jump on this, because I think if I jump on it, it probably will just sink right down to the ground. My foot's hitting the ground right there. I think if you spread out a little bit, it'd work better. That's that, man. So the next step is just to give it back to the dog, see how it stands up to his abuse, because he will abuse it, and we'll see if this was worth it or not. If this doesn't work, I mean, again, I was using what I had on hand as far as the metal bar that I put inside the sleeve. If it was solid bar, that would definitely be better. What I put in there was hollow. Solid bar would work. I might could fit 2 bars in there. The reason it fits in there so well is that you've got those metal springs in there to divide the bar perfectly in half. Gosh, you know, if I hadn't put this all together, maybe I would have put 2 in there right now. That probably would have been smart. Did I take this whole thing apart to do that? It would definitely be stronger. So I think it is. I think, you know, the reason it's in there so strong is that metal spring splits the bar right in half. So the thing's just in there, the metal spring's on it in place. I might have to do that. Man, I gotta take it all apart. So I did. I spent the 3 minutes it took. 3 minutes? Probably like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, to take this thing back apart, see if I could get 2 bars in the metal rod. Well, the fact is, the metal bar put in there is too wide to fit 2 in there. So, not to be deterred, I looked to see if I had any threaded rod, metal rod, anything else I could jam in there just for a little bit more support. I don't. So I put it all back together just as it was. Had a little bit of trouble getting it out, getting that bar to slide back out so I could push the button down. Did eventually get it after beating it on the floor. We'll see in the future whether this thing holds up. It's a good enough fix. It's just a question of, is it a good fix? And really, I guess the true thing to do, well, I don't even know. I mean, you'd always have to get a machine shop to redo these bars because they taper. Maybe there's some ways around it. I don't know. I mean, thicker pipe would do it, but the ends taper. So you're getting into a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not sure I really care to get into on this bed because I've probably spent more on the pipe to fix it than I spent on the actual bed.